Hey guys, we are live in this private Facebook event. I'm going to wait just a minute or two for you guys to hop on. How's everybody doing today? This evening. How is everybody doing this evening? Hey guys, waiting for you guys to hop on. How is everybody doing tonight? Hey Austin, grab your waters or a glass of wine. Hey guys, so hey Norma, glad you're here. Let me know you guys are here. I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. Hi, grazie. Cousins from what? South Carolina, North Carolina. Miss you guys. This is great. It's like a family reunion. I love it. We're gonna wait just a minute for folks to hop on. Good evening. I'm so glad you're here. Awesome. Hey Norma, Vision Source family here. We got our doTERRA family here. This is great. Well, good. Like I said, just waiting a minute for folks to hop on. I've got my diffuser going here. Can you guys see it? This is the new, hey baby, Adrian hopped on. This is the new, I don't even know what it's called. Oh, the Lumo new diffuser, and it's beautiful. It runs 2, 5, or 10 hours, and it has lights that can change. So I love this. It's a fun one, and it's only $70, and it does like a bunch of square feet. Hey. Oh yes, from South Carolina, but you're watching from Louisville, Kentucky. Awesome. So out on the road traveling. Awesome. Oh, you guys probably evacuated, right? I hope everything's okay on your side of town. Alicia. Hey, Alicia. Welcome. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you guys are here. We are going to get started. So you guys feel free to post in here comments that you have or questions, and I'll try to answer those as I'm going along. And I'm an open book, so anything you guys want to ask, I'm pretty open. Okay. Well, good. So kind of what inspired this. Hey guys, I see a lot of you hopping on. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hey Cammie, you made it. I'm so glad you're here. This is so fun. I was just telling everybody it's like a family reunion. Cammie and I met in Bulgaria, and I'm wearing her gift that she gave me. She gave me this Texas diffuser necklace, and you guys, it's the cutest thing, and we put oils on it, and it smells awesome. So I have peace on here right now, just for calming and stuff, so I love it. Awesome. So thanks, Cammie. I love it. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you guys are here. As you can see on there, I think you can invite people to it. So if you're like, man, I have a friend that would really benefit from this, you can invite them as well. All right, Cammie, well, be safe even if you're still at work. Hey, Danny. I'm glad you're here. This is so fun. It's like a reunion. I love it. Okay, so let me back up a little bit and just tell you guys what inspired me to, I love you too, sweet girl, what inspired me to share this with you guys, because we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary in doTERRA, and I think a lot of people watch us from the outside, but they don't really know, like more of the details. And we've shared a little bit with people, especially in person, right? Danny knows, he comes to our monthly meetings and we share stuff, but there's only so much that we have shared on social media. And so I know a lot of you guys, we're kind of acquaintances, or we just don't know you that well. And so this private event is a little bit easier for us to share more information, where it doesn't feel like you're, I don't know, walking around naked or something. You're really exposed when you're very authentic with people, right? I'm going to show you guys my first check in doTERRA. That's going to be fun, and stuff like that. But what inspired me to do this recording today, or live, actually live. This is live, right? This is not this is not rehearsed. I don't have a script. Was our 35-year anniversary since coming from Romania, and so you guys, probably some of you watched that video yesterday, and I just figured, we came to this country with absolutely nothing. And isn't that like the American dream? Like, you come here with nothing, and for seeking religious freedom, and then be able to create something by the grace of God, right? That's beautiful. But it's not just about us, right? Like, we were created clearly to be a blessing for other people, right? It's not just about us. And so that is what kind of propelled me this week to just really thinking about how blessed we have been as a family, of how God has just blessed us and brought us to this country, and we're so grateful for that. And then I wanted to share a little bit more about our doTERRA. So let me tell you guys, so 5 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom, right? We have 4 kids. The baby was 5 months old. Seth was 5 months old. He was nursing, but we knew it was pretty much going to be our last baby. I have a master's in business administration, and so my husband and I, Adrian, were kind of thinking like, hey, so, you know, kind of like what's next, right? After I finish nursing, what's next? And I wanted the full-time income, right? Only 5 years ago, yeah. It was 12, 12, 12, Cami, when I sat in my first oil class, and started in January of 2013. So we're coming up here on 5 years. So, yeah, so we were kind of talking back and forth like, what are you going to do and what do you want to do, right? Because I kind of wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but then you kind of need a little bit of an outlet too, a place where you feel like, you know, all of your passions and education are still being utilized. Because I felt like I couldn't even formulate 2 sentences, you know, because you're goo goo gaga all day, which is amazing, right? I wanted to be at home, but I also wanted the full-time income. I wanted to be able to work, but not away from the home. And I surely didn't want to commute. And so I had a very specific list of the things that I wanted, and there was not much meeting my requests of what I was looking for. And so Adrian and I were praying about it. We were praying for the Lord to provide in a certain way that we would know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was from God, right? And so we were looking at investment properties. We were looking at assisted living homes. We were looking at pizzerias. We were looking at a harvest bread, being bakers, and that pretty quickly figured out that wasn't going to be for us, like waking up at 3 a.m. and all that stuff. That wasn't for us. But we were seeking. And that's one thing that I want you guys to note is that if you're on this video right now, this live, you're seeking, and if you seek, you will find. And maybe it's not this, maybe it's not doTERRA, I don't know. But I urge you to, just like when you're dating a spouse, you have a list, a wish list of the things that you would desire. And so when you are out and you see a person like that, you will be attracted to them because you already know what you're looking for. Another thing of having a list of requirements is that you're not going to be deceived, right? Because lots of stuff is out there, over 100,000 other network marketing companies. So how can you distinguish one from the other? So hey Maria and hey Valerie, I'm glad you guys are hopping on. We just started chatting, so I'm glad you guys are here. So how do you distinguish from other opportunities? Hey Ange, welcome. Hey Cody, welcome. Hey guys, hopping on, I love it. So how do you guys distinguish, right? So we need to have a list. We need to have a list of what we're looking for so that when you find it, you'll know it's the right thing. So maybe this is the right thing for you, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I'm glad you're here, and that means you're seeking. And if you seek, you will find, right? That is scriptural truth. If you seek, you will find. So I hope you find what you're looking for. I know I have. So, all right. Okay, so husband and I were talking, praying, looking, totally seeking. Like for 2 years, we were looking at properties and all this stuff. And every single time, the door was just absolutely closed to us for these investments that we were looking at. And it was like, what is the deal? I mean, like literally, we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt all these other opportunities were not for us. I had even been asked to join some other network marketing companies. They were not a good fit for me. I went to support my friend to their meetings, and it just didn't fit for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with their opportunity or their product. It just wasn't right for me. And so we just kept seeking, right? Just kept seeking, just kept praying. And then on the back side of that, one of our children, Josiah, was very sick when he was a baby. When he was 4 months old, he started to have really bad ear infections, and then on his first birthday, he almost died of bacterial meningitis. And I wish I had known about natural alternatives that could boost his immune system. I wish I had known about these amazing tools that we have at our fingertips today. And so when someone finally told me about essential oils, guys, he was 3.5. And he had had surgeries, he had had tubes. He had, I mean, they didn't know what was wrong with him, but he kept getting very sick, and he would get like 105 fever. We'd be in the ER with him, you guys. That's not living. That's not thriving. And I don't know about you guys, but as a mom, we would do anything to have your children healthy. And so my prayer was just like, how can we get this kid healthy? How can we help him? And until he was 3.5, I didn't know anything about natural methods or essential oils. And the crazy thing, guys, so I took him to the doctor. He had been sick for over 60 days. He went to a specialist, and they told us that we could do exploratory surgery and try to find out like maybe something else. And I said, well, we've already done that, and that didn't yield any results, so we're not putting him through more exploratory surgery. He was 3. And he had already been through so much. I said, no, we're not doing that. And then they said you could put him on a permanent antibiotic. You guys, he was basically on a permanent antibiotic from 4 months to 3.5, because as soon as he would finish the antibiotics, he'd be right back on another antibiotic. And I knew this was bad for him because his gut was so messed up. He had chronic diarrhea, and I mean, he just looked sickly all the time. And when he would sneeze, it would shoot to his knees. You guys, I have never seen a kid have so much snot. Those of you hopping on that are friends, you guys know Josiah had so much snot. He was sick all the time. But so a friend of ours from our church, April had met, she had met a lady on like a website here in our area online. And this lady told her, April met Nicole online and they befriended each other, started chatting online. And Nicole said, hey, April, would you host an essential oil class for me around Christmas time? I just want to make a couple extra $100. Is that something that you would be open to? And April said, sure, why not? If you guys know April Wall, that's just her personality. She's like, yeah, sure, why not? So she made a post on Facebook. Anybody want to come learn about essential oils in my home on Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. So you guys, that was the next day after I had come back from the hospital with Josiah, where they told us, you know, exploratory surgery or permanent antibiotic. And I was just devastated for him. I cried all the way home. I just kept thinking, Lord, how is this even possible in America that there's nothing to help my son? I just could not come to terms with that. And then the next day, April posted on Facebook if anybody wants to learn about essential oils. So I thought, wow, that was kind of cool, but I had no expectations, right? I wasn't even thinking like, wow, this is my answer to prayer. Not yet, right? So something about that intrigued me. I don't know if you guys know a lot about Facebook, but some things pop up on your news feed, some things don't. Especially if you have a lot of friends. It filters out what you see and what you don't see. And so you guys, God uses Facebook too, because he used it that day for me to see that post and for me to be able to go to that class. So I told my husband, Adrian, he's on here, hey honey, I said, I'm going to go to an essential oil class. And he was like, okay, how much are you going to spend? Any ladies out here go to these events that your friends host? Danny, does Kiki go to these events? And it's like, how much are you going to spend? And I had no idea what essential oils cost. I didn't know anything about essential oils. So Adrian, do you remember? Type in the box what I told you I was going to spend. I said, don't worry, honey, I'm only going to spend. Type in the box. He knows. This is our story, right? Adrian, and that's your story too. So I told him $20. I told him, honey, I will spend $20 and I'm going to go support April, right? I'm going to go to this essential oil class. So I attended this class. I still remember sitting there. I was $5. It wasn't $5, you silly man. And so I remember sitting there. I had a cold. I was actually congested. And there was only 3 people showed up, because when you post on Facebook and, hey, attend my class, that doesn't normally work. It just doesn't work that way. So 3 of us show up. I was nursing the baby. I had a stuffy nose. I still remember all of that. And all 3 of us joined. All 3 of us bought a set of oils. And I just thought, you know what? This is either going to work for our son and for our family, or it's not, right? It's either going to work or it's not, period. There was no in between. And if it doesn't work, at least it smells good. I never bought into the candles and all of that other plug-in stuff. So it was either going to work or it wasn't, but I was desperate. I was absolutely desperate as a desperate mom. We had decided to remove all treatment from him. He was not on any antibiotics at that time, but he had been sick for over 60 days. And when he would sneeze, it would shoot to his knees, and it was nasty green and yellow stuff. And so I was desperate. Yeah, for sure. And so I came home. My husband said, "How much did you spend?" Right? Always about that. And I said, "Well, let me tell you how much I saved." And he said, "No, tell me how much you spent." And I said, like 200 something. And my engineer husband was not very pleased with me. He said, "We didn't talk about it. We didn't research. We didn't do all of this stuff," right? But the oils came in. Adrian put them under the Christmas tree. It was Christmas time. And then I said, "No, we're going to use it. We got to use it on him. He's sick now. We're desperate," right? So he said, "This is your Christmas present." And we make fun now. I mean, we're teasing each other that this is the gift, that keeps on giving. But I didn't really get a Christmas gift, or did I, right, that year? So the oils came in, and we started using Breathe and On Guard on his feet and in his diffuser. And over the course of 3 days, his mucus got lighter in amount and in color. And the 4th day, that child woke up and his nose was completely dry. And you guys, for normal people, like, I know you're probably like, "This is so dumb, this is silly," but for us, it was an absolute miracle that his nose was completely dry. You don't even realize how bad it is until you're out of it. Every single picture of that child from 4 months until 3.5 was snotty. Every single picture. And then everything changed after that. And so when this happened, we could not keep our mouths shut, you guys. Could not. While we were in the hospital with him with meningitis on his 1st birthday, we had over 55 families in our church bring us meals and take care of us when we couldn't take care of ourselves. I had someone doing my laundry, which is so humbling. We had people bringing us meals. We had babysitters taking care of our kids during the day, and then a night shift so Adrian could come up and see me at the hospital with Josiah. It was a team effort, right? We had people mowing our lawn, doing our dishes. I mean, you name it. We had so much help. 55 families. That's a church family, right? And if you guys don't have a church family, you need one, because you never know. Sometimes it's our turn to give, and sometimes it's our turn to receive. I think it's definitely easier to give than to receive. It's so humbling. But anyway, so we had 55 families that we could call and just tell them, "Look what God has done." Like part 2, miracle, right? God saved him and healed him. But like full healing, y'all, with these oils, right? These oils are created by God, right? Ultimately. And so we just started calling people, y'all. We just were like, "You have to come see this kid." And people came, right? Our friends, because our friends trust us, they're friends with us. So our friends came, and they are like, "Well, how do we get these oils?" And that's when I had the deer in the headlight, like, I don't know. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was just, telling them this awesome, event that we had happen. So I had a list of 20 people who wanted to buy stuff, 20. And I called Nicole, the lady who, introduced me to the oils. And I said, "Hey, Nicole, I've got 20 people that want to buy stuff. I think you should check, call them and, sell them some oils." And she said, "Well, Roxy, it sounds like you're, kind of doing this as a business." And I said, "Oh, no. Then my flag went up, right? My flag. Because I have a master's in business, right? I'm like, "Oh, no. Hey, Dagmar." I was like, no. This business is not for me. Oh, no. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm not going to be one of those crazy people, the crazy oil lady. I don't want to ruin my friendships. I don't want to be in a multiple level marketing. I don't want to be all of those things that you would normally think of as a stereotype. I thought that. And God has a very good sense of humor, right? And humbles us to our judgments many times. But I was like, "Oh, I'm better than that. No way, I'm not doing that. No way. And you know what? Nicole very patiently just said, "Roxy, you're already doing it. Why don't you pray about it? Why don't you pray about it, think about it, listen to a webinar about the compensation plan, and then if you don't want to, I will help these customers, but just pray about it. Give it a week or two. Pray about it, think about it, and then decide." And it was Christmas, you guys. I told you it was 12, and it was toward the end of the year. And, you know, our friends aren't going anywhere, but people are blowing my phone up. I want this stuff. I want this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And so Adrian and I started praying about it really seriously. Like, we were seeking an opportunity, but it wasn't supposed to be wrapped up in a network marketing company, right? Like, we had these imaginations of what we thought it would be. We would never think it was going to be, you know, oils or whatever. And so we started praying about the business. We did watch a webinar about the compensation plan. It absolutely made sense. If you guys are interested, you can look up any income disclosure statement. So any company out there that's a network marketing company has to have an income disclosure statement or an earnings disclosure statement. And you just look it up. Just Google earnings disclosure statement doTERRA or earnings disclosure statement Mary Kay, earnings disclosure statement Sensi, or whatever the company is that maybe you're looking to compare. And so every company is required to put this out there. If you cannot find one for the company that you are looking at, that is a red flag, okay? One. But two, you're able to compare apples to apples. And so many times, I know some people have sent me other opportunities, right? And it was like 99% of the company makes less than $400 a year. Well, I'm not really interested in that. That's not a good use of my time. And so that's not something that I would join. Anyway, so when we looked at the income disclosure statement for doTERRA and their compensation plan, the way it's paid out and the way it's reversed, where they pay a higher percentage down, which is so mind-boggling to me, right? Like, if you have 3 people who have 3 people who have 3 people who have 3 people, where do you have the most people? You guys on the bottom. And doTERRA pays the highest percentage down as you go down, as you build your team for depth. And so you're actually paid to help others succeed and not step on them. Anyway, so everything about the compensation plan just made sense to me. From my HR background, my master's in business, all of it made so much sense. I had Adrian in here with me on his engineering mind looking at the information, and we just felt like this was the right thing. So we start really praying about it. And my oldest daughter came home from school and asked us, begged us if Daddy could work just an extra hour a day so she could go to the private Christian school and read her Christian stories. She had been singled out in her class 3 times on 3 different occasions to put away her Bible at school. She was in 2nd grade. She was reading it in her private quiet time. She was not bothering anybody. We could have made a big deal about that, you know, go and report it, whatever. But you know what? That wasn't our purpose, right? Our purpose was we were seeking the Lord for what to do, if this was the right business or not. And we were really looking for a clear answer, because I don't want to start anything that I'm either all in or I'm not, right? That's how I am. I'm all or nothing. And we don't just, we don't want to lead anybody down the wrong path or anything like that. And so this was an answer to prayer for us. And so we had always wanted to move the children to private school. We were just concerned how we would pay for that, right? How we were going to pay for private school for 4 children. And but it was an answer to prayer. And so in faith, we enrolled the children in school on January of 2013. And so that became my first big goal, was to pay for their private school by June, because June is when they start the payments, right, for the next school year. So June 5th of 2013, our goal was $3,000 a month to pay for 3 kids in private school at that time, right, because the baby was little. And so, you guys, that was my deal. Was like, okay, Lord, I will work 15 to 20 hours a week. I'm going to give it all. I'm going to learn about the oils. I'm going to do everything in my power, right? In my power. But Lord, I don't know anything. I know Jesus was brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and that's all I knew. I didn't know anything else, you guys. I knew that Breathe and On Guard worked for our son, and that was about it. But I knew that the Lord was calling me out, right? I'd been in a Bible study for over 10 years with these amazing ladies in our church. Some of you guys are on here tonight. I love those ladies. But we're sitting in there for years, and I call it, you're hanging out with the salt shakers, all right? You're all salt shakers. You're not out in the community. You're out all the salt shakers. But all the salt shakers are together. All the Christians are together, and we love on each other, and that's a good thing, and we're in the Word, and that's a good thing. But are we reaching people? And so my heart really, the last few years before doTERRA, was just like, Lord, enlarge my circle of influence so that I can be a light in this community. I had no idea, you guys, what I was praying. You guys, we have to watch out what you pray for, because the Lord might actually just answer that for you. And then when he called me into doTERRA, because you guys, this is my mission field too. Look, I'm sharing my testimony with you guys, how God has been so faithful in our lives, right? And a lot of times we meet with people who aren't people of faith, and we get to pray with them, and we get to share these amazing gifts of the earth, but also tell them about the Creator, right? The ultimate Creator and our Heavenly Father who loves us so much. So I love that. God has given me more than I would have ever imagined, but with that comes responsibility too, right? And so I shrunk back in fear. The first 3 months, our team grew so fast that it was so evident that God was all over it, that it scared me, right? Have you ever had those moments where you're facing Goliath and it's like, oh my gosh, this is not really what I thought, right? Our first month, we had, I think, over 20 enrollments. All those friends joined. All those amazing friends joined. And you guys know what? 99% of them are still with us 5 years later. We keep our customers, you guys, because they love our products. So that's amazing. Yeah, 99% of those first 20 people are still with us. I love it. We had 3,000 sales our first month. The second month, we had 5,000 sales. Our third month, we had 12,000 sales. And our fourth month, we already had 35,000 sales a month. You guys, that's not something that I could do on my own, right? I just told you I didn't know anything about essential oils. I surely wasn't a good leader. I loved on my people, but I sure wasn't a good leader. I didn't know anything, not one thing. And now today, you guys, we know so much, and we've helped so many people. We've helped now over 8,000 families utilize natural methods in their home. I have a huge box here just with testimonials. Danny, he has an amazing story with Lyme. Phenomenal. When I saw him, it hasn't even been a year, Danny. When did I see you? February? He was a walking, not man, not healthy, in pain, just not doing well at all. Right, Danny? And now he's a new guy. He's a new guy. And you guys, when you have a story like that, you cannot keep it to yourself. You can't. You're obligated to tell other people about it. Whether they want it or not, that's fine. But you're obligated to tell them because we have a better way. And, in April. Oh my gosh, Danny, only in April? And now look, it's September. My goodness, what a difference 5 months makes, right? Guys, who knows? 5 months from now, where are you going to be at? Right? Who knows? I don't know, but I know you're seeking because you're here and you're listening, and I love that. So here's my first check. I'm going to share my first check with you guys. This was my first check. So January 2013, you can see the date there. I don't know, can you guys see it? Let's see here. I'm like challenged with these videos. Okay. So January 24th of 2013. And let's see here. Am I doing it right? Okay. $22. Can you see it? $22 was my first check. Could you guys see that? I don't know if you can see it. This way. All right. That was my first check. I still remember when I got my first check because after being a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, I was like, I earned this. Right? Like I was so excited when Adrian came home and I was like, look, my first check, you guys. I mean, I had spent $200, right? But I was like, I made this. I was so excited. You would have thought it was $1 million. I was so excited because you guys, transitioning from working to being at home, I used to get accolades at work, right? Like you get customer service letters and like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing and she should be promoted and whatever. And they're telling you how amazing you are, right? We would have these Tuesday morning meetings where you would be called up in front of your 500 peers at the University of Phoenix, where I was an academic counselor before. And they would call you up and they would read testimonials about you from your colleagues or from your customers, from students in your caseload. And so every single Tuesday, that was my goal. Personal goal was every single Tuesday for me to be recognized. I always want to be above, right? I want to be above and set the bar, right? Not only as a person of integrity, but as a Christ follower, right? I want to do everything with excellence. And so every Tuesday I would get accolades. And so they're all, clapping for you and you're so awesome. Well, guess what? Became stay-at-home mom, so you have an infant, right? And no one's telling you like, yay, you cleaned the toilet. Yay, you changed the poopy diaper. You know, nobody's doing that. And so I really struggled, and I was telling Adrian, and he's a great husband, of course, but you know, he can't meet all of those crazy needs. That was unrealistic. But this is the outlet for me, right? This is the outlet for me where I get to pour into other moms. And now we've got guys on our team too, and Adrian's really good at that, and we have a lot of team meetings on that. But I've got my pom-poms here. We're always cheering each other on, right? We always want to be that cheerleader for each other and encourage each other and have that place to belong and a place of community. There's over 60% of women, you guys, if you ask them, they want to stay home with their kids, but maybe they don't have that opportunity because maybe they never knew that they could maybe make a full-time income and be at home. I would never have thought that. No way. I don't know if you guys saw the post that I put online. So our silvers in doTERRA, silver means you have 3 liters of 3,000 each. Our silvers make 26,000 a year. Okay, you can't live on 26,000 a year, you guys, but that's part-time income, right? That's just doing this part-time, 10 to 15 hours a week, part-time. So 26,000 a year. The next rank in doTERRA is gold. Well, gold is having 3 liters of 5,000 each, so that's 15,000 sales. That average income is 4,000 to 5,000 a month. You guys, that's good income. There's people that's their full-time income. They work full-time for that. That's part-time with doTERRA. And that's totally doable. It's totally possible to achieve the rank of gold. The next one is platinum. Now, platinum, you have 3 leaders that have 3 leaders each, and that one is 100,000 a year, you guys. That's 8,000 to 10,000 a month. That is amazing income, you guys. Like, that's engineers. I mean, just upper management. You guys, 10,000 a month. That's really good money. Okay, and then our diamonds are 20,000 a month. All right. Adrian and I are diamonds. We've been diamonds for 4 years, and all of the ranks, if you look at them, the averages are really spot on. Blue diamond is 40,000 a month, and presidential diamond is 100,000 a month. A month. I said a month. Okay, so let's break it down, you guys. What if it takes 10 years to get to presidential diamond? Who cares? Who cares, right? Because when you start thinking about what would you do with 5,000 a month? You guys can think about a lot of things that you're like, oh, I need more than that. I have a lot of holes I need to fill, right? What if you had 10,000 a month? I bet you know exactly what to do with that. But when I start throwing numbers out like 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 a month, what would you do with it? Our mind immediately goes to something bigger than ourselves. Because you guys, it's not just about us, right? Yes, we need to take care of our families. Yes, we have to, right? We're obligated. We are obligated by scripture, right? To take care of our families and our loved ones. But what's next after that? You guys, we were created for more than this. We are created to impact other people. And so when you have a bigger shovel like that, you can be a blessing to more people. And God has called us to do that. So we're excited about that. But it's not just about us, right? No way. It's not just about us. It's about giving more and serving. And you know what? You guys, you know, we just had a hurricane here in Houston, and we've been impacted by that in our area. Adrian and I are fine. But just a couple streets down, you know, people are really, really hurting. What I love about doTERRA, not only did they send amazing oils to us to give away 2 18-wheelers full within the first week. So that was amazing partnership. I had the owner, one of the owners of doTERRA was texting me at midnight saying, hey, I want to give, I want to help. How can we make this happen? And I love that, the heart of doTERRA. Hey guys, welcome for hopping on. And so the heart of the company, we love that, their service mentality and giving back, and I love that so much. I forgot what else I was going to say. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Yes. So we love giving back. We love the service mentality. It's a big deal for us. But it also allows us the time freedom, right? So Adrian used to work before all of this craziness. When I was a stay-at-home mom, Adrian used to work over 100 hours a week. Sometimes 120 hours a week. Okay? Now, you guys might be thinking, there's not enough hours in the week. How is that possible? At one point, his former company put a couch in his office, kind of like, hint, hint, sleep here, live here, you're ours, we own you. He worked in research and design. He has over, I don't know, 12, 14 patents in the oil field. Hey, Cammie, welcome back. Adrian has over, I don't know how many patents, 14, 15 patents in the oil field. And he was like Innovator of the Year in 2004. Like, the guy's a genius, okay? Never cracked open a book. But when you start dreaming about math and formulas and you never have a break and you're always on, I don't know, guys, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And so we were looking for something else. I was looking for something else. And my faithful group of prayer warriors on Tuesday morning knew what we were going through during that time. It was such a hard time. I was a young mom with 4 babies, and Adrian was a workhorse. And so from my HR perspective, I was updating his resume. I was updating his LinkedIn. I was updating everything because I'm like, we can't keep doing this. This is not living, right? I said, sell the house, sell everything. Downsize. I don't care what it is, but we can't keep doing this. I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to, I didn't get married to raise these kids alone. I need you here, right? And you guys, I started resenting him, which is horrible, right? Like, he's providing for our family and I'm resenting him. Like, he wanted to be away, right? But those were the requirements of his job. And so I updated all his stuff and he started getting headhunter calls. Well, because he was so busy, he didn't have time to take those calls. That was my mistake, not putting my phone number on there. I put his. But headhunter stopped calling, right? Because he couldn't take the calls. And so what ended up happening was that I told him, I said, I think it's time, for you to get out. And he said these very wise words, I am not leaving here unless they fire me. And I was thinking, well, how are they going to fire you? You're absolutely perfect. The guy's never done ever a mistake. He was the first hire and he'd been there for, almost 15 years. And so I was like, well, that's never going to happen. But you know what? I told my faithful prayer warriors, and we started praying. And you guys, that was in February a couple years ago. About 4 or 5 years ago, we started praying in February. And by June, you guys, in June, they came in and said, hey, we no longer need your services. And he did nothing wrong. Nothing. And they let him go. And you know what? The rug was just pulled out from under him. But for me, I was like, thank you, Lord. That's what we prayed for. I don't know who prays their husband out of a job. But I did, because it wasn't right for our family. But you know what? That rocked us to our core and really made us reevaluate our goals in life and where are we headed and what's our purpose. And we were created for more than just paying our bills and going to work all day. We were created for more than that. We believed it with all of our fiber. We just didn't know what was the right next step for us. And so it was kind of cool because it was June, and so we had the whole summer off with the kids. We had already planned a mission trip with our church, and it had already been paid for, so that was really cool. And so we did that in faith. We did all of the things that we had already planned that summer, and we had a great time. But we fasted and we prayed, and we knew that the Lord would provide. We didn't know how, but we knew He would provide. And in the fall, when the kids went back to school, I had been praying for Adrian to really start his own engineering company, and he was hesitant about that, just doubting himself that he was good enough, that he didn't speak the language well because of his accent and all of this, stuff that we all have in our minds, right? And after all of that time of just fasting and praying and encouraging, he was ready. And in the fall of that year, he started his own engineering company. And then you guys, the Lord blessed that. And you know what? He was making more money, I think 3 times more than what he was making before, working half the time. And I'm talking about like real time, like 20, 25 hours a week. And we were amazed of what God had done for us. Again, God had provided in such an amazing way. And then the crazy thing about that time is while he was out of a job, we were doing this Bible study together. It's called 41 Days to the Work You Love by Dan Miller. And it's an assessment of how did God create you? How were you bent? What are, your earliest recollection of being happy, or doing crafts, or like if time and money was no object, what would you do if you could do anything? And for me, of course, Adrian never finished the study because he went off to his own things, but I finished the study. And the study, I don't know if I have it on the shelf here, but I finished the study, And it was like, you're supposed to be a motivational speaker, a public speaker, and something with people, like people oriented. And I was just kind of like, what a crock, you know. I was like, what? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was pregnant with the 4th kid. I was throwing up. I mean, I was just like, what? Motivational speaker, public speaker, who am I speaking to? The diaper, you know. I was like, this is crazy. But I could see how I was created for that, but I couldn't see how that would ever come to fruition, right? I just couldn't see it. How is that even possible? So I shoved that book in the shelf, and I was just like, whatever, that is never going to happen, ever. How is that ever going to happen? And you guys, it wasn't even a few years after that I was on a conference call with one of the event coordinators from doTERRA, and I was asked to speak at a 5,000 people event. And they were asking me for my bio information. And while I walk around when I'm on the phone, I'm a pacer. Anybody do that? Nervous pacer? And I was pacing around on the phone, and my eyes hit the bookshelf. And I saw the spine of that book, 41 Days to the Work You Love by Dan Miller. And you guys, I lost it. I absolutely freaking lost it. And I had to hang up the call and tell them I can't talk to you right now. Because my God is great, and He is so good. You guys, nothing is too easy, nothing is too small, and nothing is too big for Him. And He cares. He cares if you're struggling right now. He cares if you're upset with Him right now. And you know what? That's okay. You can bring your request boldly to Him, and He will answer it. Now, I don't know, again, I don't know how He's going to answer it, and I don't know if you're always going to get what you want, right? We sure didn't know what we were going to get. But He is faithful no matter what. And so for some of you guys, He is calling you. I don't know who it is. I have no idea. But we love what we're doing. We love doTERRA. We love these amazing oils. We love the help that it brings to people in their health and their bodies. But we also love, oh, thanks. Yes, 48 days. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Thanks, Rod. Yeah, 48 Days to the Work You Love by Dan Miller. That's it. Yeah, it was 40 something. I couldn't remember. Yeah. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer it for you guys. We're coming up on our 5-year anniversary with doTERRA. We're absolutely blessed with it. It's given us the opportunity to travel the world, to see places with our children that we never would have thought possible. Yeah, Adrian and I work together now, so fast forward about 3 years ago, as my income went up to diamond, he was able to work less and less. And then he let go of his office lease and he started working out of the house. We added a 5th bedroom to our house. And I was downstairs in the office and his was upstairs in like the quietest corner. And over time, the oil field, the crude oil, we're in Houston, right? Crude oil, the oil field started going down. I don't know about you guys, if you're in oil field or if you've been impacted by that or your families, my heart goes out to you. I know that's really hard. It's a hard time. And it's picking back a little bit, but yes. So my husband does work with me. So 3 years ago, he stopped working, right? His oil field dried up. And he was up in that office all by himself, kind of just like staring at the computer screen. And I was down here drowning because I had so much work to do because our team grew so fast. So I actually went to a La Madeleine appointment with another sweet mom because that's what we do, right? We just meet with people, have appointments with them, go over their health goals, a little bit about the company, and in a 30-minute appointment, either they buy or they don't, and that's it, and we move on, right? And then some of them will want to join and you teach them how to do this business, right? And so I came back from La Madeleine, you guys, and I come in the office and his desk is in here. And I was like, whoa, what happened here? And so we went from never seeing each other to always being together, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But Rod, your answer to your question. So Adrian is, he's a very strategic thinker. So what we did is like, we both look at what are you really good at and what do you hate, right? And then we look at my list of what am I really good at and what do I hate, right? And now, when you're your own business owner, right, because that's the way we consider ourselves, right? This isn't a hobby. This is a full-time income for us, and so we treat it seriously, even though we don't work 40 hours a week. I work 15 to 20 hours a week, but it's serious time, right? Instead of, people are like, are you full-time or are you part-time? Well, I'm serious time. I do 15 to 20 hours a week, but it's serious time. It's not just fooling around time, right? But anyway, so we look at what are our strengths and weaknesses, and then we match up, right? And so he does a lot of the strategic planning. He looks at like big picture stuff. He looks at placements, because it is, a lot of it is, the numbers game and making sure that everything lines up right, maximizing the compensation plan. And so he's amazing at that. Adrian has been with us from the beginning, even though he wasn't at home with me from the very, very beginning. He was very supportive and working with the big picture view, right? Because if I'm teaching, following up, teaching new business leaders, launching new business leaders. So I'm doing all of that people stuff. Sometimes we lose sight of like the big picture overview. And so Adrian is really good at that. He handles drama on the team. Sometimes especially when you have predominantly women in your organization, it's starting to change though, because we are a health and wellness company. It's not skincare or makeup or whatever. It's actually health and wellness. So we're having maybe 15 to 20% is starting to be male. And so we train couples together. We do team meetings together. We do team calls together. Of course, he has his own sales appointments and leaders that he's launching that he's been partnering with, so he does that. So he handles drama. He handles strategy. He handles all my IT and like our website, all of that kind of stuff. So, and he does postage too. He loves doing that. He does all my mail stuff. And so I appreciate that, right? Because you get to a point where it's just too much for one person to be able to handle. And so it was either I'm going to have to hire out some of the work, or we can, work it out within the family right now. Yeah. Good question. Anybody else have any questions? I'll answer it for you if I can. Anything you want to know, I will tell you. Anything you want to know? Okay, well, while you guys think or type, so if any of you guys are like, I think I need to pray about something like this, I think I might be interested in learning more about, how, or the compensation plan, or how do you get started. Next Thursday, same time at 8 p.m., we're going to do a Zoom. We use Zoom video conferencing for all of our trainings, and it's a great formality where we can, platform where we can see each other. Like this way you guys only see me, I can't see you, which you're probably like, I'm grateful for that. But it's a great tool. I know those of you guys that are on my team already that we use this. It's a great tool because we actually feel like you're in the same room together and you can see each other. You don't have to turn on your camera, but it's always encouraged if we can, so we can see each other and have like a real team meeting on there. But next Thursday night at 8 p.m. I'll post the Zoom link information in here and when we're done. And we'll just get started and just answer any questions that you guys might have. And you covered a lot for me. I just need to become more familiar with the oils and how to use them. Yeah, absolutely. You guys just take that next step, right? Wherever you are on your journey. So there's, I don't know how many, 80 oils and how many products, right? Don't wait to ever be the expert, right? You're never going to know everything about every oil, right? But just get your book out. Let me see, I moved all my stuff. Get your book out and just read about one oil a day, right? Just read about one oil a day. And then I urge you, tell one person about it the next day, right? We learn by telling other people. And so I don't know if you ever had that, like when you were learning math, you had to teach somebody else how to do the math, and then it kind of solidifies it for you too. So get a book, read about one oil a day, and tell one person the next day about that oil and see what happens. I urge you, try it and see what happens. And but yeah, just start using your oils, right? Put oil on body. Yeah, good job. Put oil on body, and then you can't help but share your experiences. So we are doTERRA Wellness Advocates. Is the Zoom call open to those not on your team? Absolutely. Yeah, so that's part of our doTERRA culture, right? That we're all part of the doTERRA family, and we're all part of the same, company, and we have profit sharing within our company. When you become a silver or above with doTERRA, you're part of profit sharing with doTERRA. And so a portion of my check is because the group sales of the whole company have grown, right? And so Rod, of course you're welcome to come to our team calls. Absolutely. Any trainings that we do, it's open. And we do the same thing with other people. Like I might have someone in Alaska, and there's a team in Alaska that's going to, you know, take one of my people in or whatever. So it all works out. Absolutely. So you are more than welcome to join. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we do. Yeah, you're welcome. Love it. Any more questions? I don't want to hop off if anybody's like, I really, really want to know this one thing. You can ask anything you want. I will answer it if I can. Yeah. Have some water. Y'all drinking your water out there? Okay. Oh, Danny, you're so sweet. Yeah, so what I will start to cover, so what we'll do, next Zoom meeting, for those of you guys that want to join, we're going to start breaking it up into baby steps, right? Yeah, because it's just too much information all at once, right? Like I could talk for 20 hours about doTERRA and about essential oils, right? It's too much information. And so we're going to break it up into baby steps. And so next Thursday, we're just going to talk about how do you get started? How to get started. And then we'll schedule the next Thursday and we'll talk about like how to set an appointment, how to set an agenda. Why do you set an agenda for your appointment? And then the next week we'll talk about how to go through the appointment, how to go through a 30-minute appointment. What does it look like? We'll do some role playing and practicing that, right? And then the next week, how do you close that? How do you close an appointment, right? So we're just going to take it slow. We're going to take it slow. And then the next appointment, we'll probably talk about how to ask for referrals, right? Because that's so important, right? How to ask for referrals. And then the next week, we'll talk about having the OMG conversation, like, OMG, they want to join me in the business. What do I do? We'll talk about that. That's a fun one. So we just break it up into baby steps, right? It's too much information all at once. So we just break it all up. So we'll just try Thursdays at 8 for as long as it works for you guys, right? And just break it up into baby steps. So let me know. I will post in this group the Zoom information. So let me tell you about Zoom. Zoom is amazing. You need to download the launcher to your desktop computer or get the free Zoom app on your smartphone. And that's how you'll utilize that. It's super easy. Once you do it, it's very self-explanatory. It's easy to use. It's a great platform. So we really do enjoy seeing each other, and I get to wave my pom-poms, and we get to celebrate wins every week and hear about how you guys are winning and what you're doing, and that's what we do. Yeah. Yes, so we use the emergesalestraining.com is the sales training that we use. It's super easy. It's customer focused and oriented. It's not pushy. We don't want to do that, right? But we do want to maximize our time. And so we don't do samples. We don't do tear pads. We don't do any of that stuff. We go into an appointment with a pad of paper and a pen. And but we listen to the customer. We ask them about their health goals. We go through the top 10 oils and how it will help their family. Tell them a little bit about the company, and then we ask for their business. We show them the 2 kits that they would choose from, and they either join or they don't, right? And so, but if they walk out of there that day, like 99% they're not coming back. So why do we give them an option, right? If you don't want to join, some of the starfish, I mean, starfish is just good principles, right? So yeah, some of the starfish is just normal, good principles in there, yeah. So but we go through that, and then we give them a husband don't kill me kit if they're not ready to commit to like the 275 or the 150 kit. We say, hey, how about the husband don't kill me kit, and that's the little introductory packet, the lemon, lavender, peppermint, and that way that at least they have something in hand, and maybe they'll end up loving the oils and come back. But if they leave, remember our goal is oils in their home so they can start using them for their family and have some amazing experiences like we have. So if that's our goal, to serve our customers and serve them well, then we'll get these kits on dressers, right? I love doTERRA is just looking at revolutionizing healthcare, and that's what's next, guys. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and so are you ready? Are you guys ready for the revolution? Do you want to be part of it? Because our friends and family are going to hear about doTERRA one way or another. It just matters if it's going to be from you or somebody else. It's just a matter of time, right? And our goal is an oil in every home. And so we need your help. We need your help to reach these people, right? And be a blessing to these families. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me tonight and letting me share a little bit about what God has been doing in our lives the last couple of years. And you guys, each one of you, are a blessing to us and our family, and I thank you. And if there's something that we can do, pray for you or encourage you on your journey, we would love to partner with you on that. So you can send me a private Facebook message. And I hope to see you guys next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central on Zoom. And if not, just tell me. Just let me know, hey, you know, we prayed about it, we thought about it, it just isn't the right opportunity for me. Great, keep seeking, guys. You will find whatever you're looking for if you keep seeking. So thank you guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys spending an hour with me. And some of you guys are on the East Coast, so it's super late. So I'll let you guys go. I appreciate you. You're near and dear to my heart. So go out and be a blessing tomorrow. Go out and bless somebody, right? That, you know, can't bless you back. Go out and be a blessing to somebody, and see how that works, how that feels. All right, guys. Have a great night. Mwah.